First of all, I'd like to welcome the British press. I know it's a busy time with the Olympics coming up. David, I know, is trying to get away on holiday. I am, and I suppose a few other people are, to avoid the Olympics, the traffic, so we'll get on with it. And I'd like to say a few thank yous first, because I think it is quite important. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Southwark Metals, Westminster Waste, for sticking by us and encouraging us through what has been a very difficult period up till now. And I personally would like to thank David Price, because he has stuck by my judgment and my commitment to him, and hopefully I will deliver my promise to him, which is to take him all the way to the world title. I know he has the ability to do that. And we start a new chapter on a new TV company, a new era on Box Nation, and we thank them as well, and pleased to be joining them at a time when boxing does need some competition, because without competition it becomes a monopoly, and one man thought he was going to control boxing. Thankfully, because there are some other TV stations out there, we've been unable to stop that control of boxing and keep boxing up and fair and competitive. So today is to announce that Frank Maloney Promotions have signed a deal with Box Nation. We will feature 5 main fights on a Saturday night, featuring what I believe to be the best prospect and best heavyweight out there in today's market, and that includes Mr. Hay and the other British heavyweight, David Price. Our first fight is the 13th of October against Audley Harrison at Liverpool Echo Arena. I have a statement from Audley, who will be over in August, and we're holding a press conference. He says, "Firstly, I'd like to thank David Price and his team for this opportunity. David has done no wrong so far as a professional and is a likeable guy. Whatever way you look at it, it's a crossfight with 2 Olympic medals, travelling the same pathway. Me on the way, with a question mark, and him on the way up. My career has had tremendous highs and incredible lows, and I've ridden my ship as best as I can. I looked great in some bouts, underperformed in others, and didn't show up on a few occasions, but will turn up at Liverpool, which really hurt my reputation. Ultimately, I had the spirit and tenacity to not give up, dust myself off, and give it another go. Life is what you make it. And from my humble beginnings to where I have been on my journey, I can truly count my blessings. My career was not supposed to filter out of television, so I've got myself back to where I belong, which is an accomplishment in itself. I'm not sure of the outcome on October the 13th, but I'll be there to win the fight. But I can promise the public that I will give my best in victory or defeat. That's all we can ask of ourselves." Audley Harrison, A-Force. So that's Audley's statement. The fight song was set out for 7,000 people. We can move up to 9,000. Audley told me this will sell 15,000, but I'll be happy with 7 or 9. With that, I'll just throw the floor open for questions. I'd like to thank Jim Rosenthal from Box Nation, actually. Sorry, sitting here.
That's all right. I should be out there.
I know you should.
David, have you ever come across Audley in the ring when you were very young, coming up?
No, I never did, but it's worth pointing out that it's a bit of a situation which I never thought I'd find myself in, was fighting Audley Harrison, because when I was growing up on the England team, everyone looked up to Audley Harrison, no less than me, because I was a super heavyweight. He won the Olympic gold medal, and he was a bit of an inspiration. I'm not afraid to admit that. In his amateur days, so people were comparing me to Audley Harrison quite a bit when he just turned pro, because I was coming through and I was going to be the next Olympian at super heavyweight and whatever. So he was someone I always looked up to, and to be fair, he even called me before the Beijing Olympics to give me some advice and this and that. I mean, I haven't had much dealings with him. I've met him on a couple of occasions, but whenever I've met him, it's been alright. But make no bones about it, no matter which way you look at this fight, it's a massive fight. People can say what they want about Audley Harrison, but on his day, he can fight. He's proved that in the past. He just mightn't have his day that very often. But we're planning for the best Audley Harrison possible, me and Franny. So, it's a fight that really gets me juices from. When Frank phoned me and said we're going to go with the Audley Harrison fight in October, it was like, yeah, I can get over, it's exciting. I can get over for any fight, but it's Olympic year, 2 Olympic medalists, you know, it'll capture the imagination, and everyone's going to want to see two big men fight.
Are you surprised he hasn't done more as a professional?
Yeah, I am, and you know, it's a shame that he hasn't, because he did have the talent, but that's his problem, you know, he's got to live with that, and he's more or less wrote the book on what not to do when you turn professional. Do you know what I mean? And I've looked at it and gone, right, I'll do it like this instead, do you know what I mean? So, but as I say, he's got 100% of my respect, and you know, I've never really had bad things to say about him. You know, I've never been one to call him fraudly or orderly or anything like that, because I'm a fellow professional. I wouldn't disrespect the man. He getting in the ring and putting everything on the line. He'll get all my respect. But come fight night, I'm going to be going out to do a job, and domestically, you know, I feel like I'm a bit of a runaway train, and that's not going to be stopped, and anyone who does want to get in the way is going to be getting run over. So, you know, I'm looking forward to continuing that on October 13th.
What do you think he did wrong in the last 10 years?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. Only he knows that. I mean, I think he tried to take too much on board at once, instead of just concentrating on what he was good at, which was boxing, which he is good at, rather than trying to do everything at once, outside the ring, promoting fights, managing, you know, everything. So I think he'd admit that himself, but you know, everything happens for a reason. I mean, he was an Olympic gold medalist. I had the ability to win an Olympic gold medal, and on another day in 2008, I could have been an Olympic gold medalist, but didn't perform in the semi-finals. But I believe that the disappointment I had in the Olympics, despite winning a bronze medal, has given me a massive hunger to succeed as a pro. Whereas Audley Harrison was a superstar when he turned professional. He was the first Olympic medalist in God knows how many years, and the first super heavyweight. It's what the country had been crying out for forever. And he had it. And maybe that hunger weren't there, but that hunger was there in me. So, you know, that's one little difference.
Frank, how did the fight come about?
I think after Audley's last win, he put out that he would like to fight David the year of the Olympics. So we pursued it. And, you know, if he fights as well as he negotiated, David's in for the hardest fight of his life, I've got to tell you. Because his negotiation tactics are very good. But, yeah, it was made. It's a fight. The year of the Olympics is great, 2 Olympians. It's something you dream of, isn't it? It's a big fight, as David said. Audley can talk, he can fight. You know, if Audley Harrison turns up on tonight, which I believe he will, because it is his last throw of the dice, isn't it? As he says, he doesn't want to go out on a whim, does he? So, to me, this is exciting. This is a big fight. In a way, this is a bit like sort of Lewis and Bruno, but in a different category, or Lewis and Gary Mason. You know, there is something about this fight that catches the public's imagination. 2 big men.
Is the lot you said that for the time being David Hay might be out of reach, as I say, for the time being at least. Do you still hope to fight Chisora at some point in the next year or so?
If he's got a British Boxing Board control licence, then I'll fight him, because I'm British champion. And without that, he won't be able to fight for the British title. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm open to fighting any good fighters out there who I think will develop my career, and I think that Chisora's a good fighter and he provides a good test. But you know, he needs a bit of a rest at the minute, so he's not really on my radar, and it'd be unfair to start calling out after he's just boxed last week. And I'll let him have a rest, and I'd be happy to give him the opportunity to get back in the title mix if all things being well. But with Audley Harrison as well, I mean, I think it's worth pointing out from my own personal perspective in my career and progressing my career. 14 fights in, I'm fighting an ex-European champion and a world title challenger. You know, he's won his last fight, and he's been, how many times has he been stopped? Twice, is it? I think he's been knocked out twice, Audley Harrison, by David Hay, and one was a lottery punch against Sprott. So, no, it's not going to be an easy fight, you know. And sorry, yeah, but Sprott knocked him out. But yeah, it's progression, and for 14 fights in, you know, and progressing nicely with the opponents.
Is Audley still a dangerous opponent?
Of course he is, yeah. Yeah, of course he is. Look, I mean, people are judging him on the day-to-day fight, which fair enough, he stunk the place out, and anyone will tell you that. But any heavyweight who hits as hard as Audley Harrison is always dangerous. And you know, if you've got the skills like he's got as well, it's going to be a dangerous fight, which is why it's good for me, because, as I said, it's getting me juices flowing, and I'm excited by the whole event, not just the fight, the build-up, because Audley's going to make the build-up interesting. He'll talk when you sell the fight. He might have like a bit of a superiority complex because he was Olympic gold medalist, I was Olympic bronze, so you know, he's going to believe he can win this fight. But unfortunately for him, this is different, and you know, I'm coming through, and as I said, I feel like anyone who stands in the way is just going to get taken out.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying, do you feel as if you're carrying the flag of British boxing to some degree? I mean, the sport in Britain's taken a bit of a knock in the last sort of year or so. I think, you know, Hayes obviously had trouble. Khan, Frotcher suffered a defeat as well. I mean, do you think there's a void there for you to go in and kind of become the hero or the star of British boxing?
You know, I don't really like comparing myself to other fighters or other weights. I just try and concentrate on my own job, what I'm trying to do, and if I'm doing a good job and people are saying I'm giving the sport a good name, and that's great. You know, that's a compliment. But as far as the other lads are concerned, you know, I think Khan can obviously come back. Carl Frotcher's doing a great job, and David Hayes coming off the back of a good win. But I just like to focus wholly on my own career, and if I can achieve what I'm capable of, or what me and my team think I'm capable of, then I think British boxing would be proud of me.
Hang in this 5-5 deal with Box Nation, you did talk about taking David over to America to have a fight. Is that still in your plan?
There's options there. We're going to sit down. We're going to do what we think is best for David's career. I mean, there's room for international fights in there, which we obviously need to test against some Americans. Yeah, I'm happy with the way the deal will be structured, and you know, as long as we deliver and the TV company deliver, we're all going to be happy, and boxing's going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Frank, have you got a non-appearance clause in the contract?
Sorry?
Have you got a non-appearance clause in the contract?
Non-appearance.
So have you got a penalty clause in the contract with Audley?
With Audley?
Yeah.
Yes, we've got. Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't appear,
We've got a replacement fight.
oh no, sorry, not a replacement fight. Will he pay a penalty if he doesn't appear?
He'll have to pay back his advances, yeah.
Good.
But you know, I'm sure he'll appear.
Frank, have you tried to make this fight before? You were talking about it after the Audley Harrison.
No, we've never tried to make this fight before.
Is it it's a good learning fight with David, isn't it? In terms of Audley's a similar size, it's not like fighting a smaller heavyweight.
Well, he's also a southpaw as well, which is, causes another problem. So, you know, it's something we've got to do. I'm a great believer that you're learning. Every fight is a learning fight until you're actually the champion of the world, and that's what we're doing. We're progressing David's career with Franny, who I speak to on a regular basis. We discuss what approach we should take, what we should look at. You know, it's all about putting a jigsaw together, and we're about a quarter way there?
I think we're giving Audley an opportunity what a lot of other domestic heavyweights wouldn't have given, because you know he is a dangerous opponent, and whether or not people are saying he'll stink the place out and people won't want to watch, people will be watching the fight, no matter, and then you know, you don't know before the fight is going to stink it out, and I don't think he will, because I'm making a fight. I'm making fights, and it's going to be a good fight to watch. But no, he'll create human figures, and he'll also, as I say, he's also making a lot of other heavyweights walk the other way, because a lot of people will be like that at this stage. He needs Audley Harrison now, you know. But we're willing to give him the opportunity because we think it's going to help develop my career as a top heavyweight.
He was actually in a good position, Audley, because there was another heavyweight he wanted. That's why I'm saying the negotiations were quite hard. So he got a little bit more than he should have got. So to make sure we secured it against someone else.
Any idea on the undercard, Frank?
Yeah, the undercard will have 2 other title fights on, and it will have the normal talent that we like to give the viewers.
Dylan White?
Dylan White will be on the undercard, yes. If that's all we'll do, the one-to-ones with TV and some pictures of that. Okay, thanks everyone for coming.